In this lesson, we're discussing the ear structure. After that, notice how the teacher is looking for something at an angle, searching diagonally. Never draw the ears too straight. The ear always grows at an angle, not straight. Draw the ear rim and earlobe separately. Don't connect them. Don't make them one line for the circular shape. Make sure to define the ear's form. This side is narrow, this side is wide, right? Just grasp this concept and the ear becomes simple. After this part, this side is wide, this side narrow, then moving down, narrow at top, wide at bottom, right? There's no section that's completely parallel. If you can draw the ear, you've succeeded. Look at this position, wide at bottom, narrow at top. After that, what do we call this part? The shape of the ear flat, the ear flat. The ear flat is in the overall portrait of the ear. It's also quite difficult to draw the ear flat after completing the ear canal shape. This entire section, you see there's an interlocking relationship. Draw out this interlocking relationship after that. This whole section where the outer ear wraps around the inner ear. You need to show this compression relationship. So my line will be slightly heavier here. This area will have undulations. This entire circle. What category is this still? It's within the ear's range. The earlobe must have thickness. Don't draw it too thin or rigid, so I use a slightly looser line where we need to find the shape. See how I bring out some color relationships. Habitually sweep outward a bit. Don't use single line techniques. Then where needed, strengthen this edge line a bit. When we apply color, we can start with the whole, establish the overall sectional relationship. Still using this soft charcoal. When you're not yet very skilled, you must be steady this position. Look at this position, define the shape while emphasizing the form, blend colors from dark to light outward. First, define the shape here. After establishing weight, blend from dark to light outward. Then, following the contour of the head, press in the color of the inner ear rim after completing this area, following the outer ear rim's edge, right? Press the color further inward. So what we're repeatedly doing is controlling form, controlling the shape overall. See how we press all the color inward. Finished with this position. Stick to this shape, bring out the color relationship here. This position also follows its form. Bring out this color at this position, draw while finding its shape relationship. This position is done. It's the head shadow, so the shadow area is a bit heavier. So we just emphasize this point of the head shadow. This point is relatively heavier now. After that, this whole position moves outward. Define this card-like shape here. Emphasize it outward. After emphasizing the shape, let's fill in the color. This position also needs its colors emphasized outward. See how the color of the ear tragus is emphasized. Our focus is emphasizing what? The form relationship. Now add gray to this entire position. Let's capture the whole feeling of the earlobe, right? A sense of thickness. Now we've completed all the dark colors. Now let's bring out the gray areas a bit more. This area has transitional gray. Let's define this shape. Let's bring it out. The entire ear tragus area also needs a gray side. It's not that bright. The overall color of the tragus leans towards gray. See how we've grayed all the colors. Now let's work on the thickness. Let's stick to this area, adding slightly heavier colors outward. With a smaller pencil, go around its shape. Define the shape, bring it out clearly. Now let's refine it, smooth out the shape, polish it. For the ear, add colors that need emphasis. First, create the shape here, work it into the inside area, blend the color in, blend it out a bit. The contact area is large, so it's easy to blend evenly. If too small, it won't blend well. Apply some pressure, don't be too light. Apply color twice, then follow through. Let's control this shape, directly define the tragus position, its thickness, its curves, the tragus's other curve. Let's bring that out directly. Let me wipe the board thoroughly, since I just wiped off the heavy parts. After that, if you don't wipe it, it might leave a black spot to get rid of this division. After that, this position will bring out the thickness of the outer ear. Bring out the thickness relationship of the earlobe. Hold this point in place, then bring out the color. Bring out these small gray edges and surfaces. Keep the bright parts bright. Don't make everything gray. This area will have a slightly light gray surface. Let's bring out these subtle light gray surfaces. We'll use the blending tool to bring these out. Blend the whole area, make it less bright, more grayish. See, the entire ear's color relationship is complete. Now we can use hard charcoal for shaping. When shaping with hard charcoal, we first emphasize the contours. Take your time with the line work. Look at the form and contour inside the ear canal. Look at the entire section and line direction. Why use lines this way? To create a subtle highlight, to create a subtle color trace inside, you need to draw it carefully like a wall. If you don't draw it, it'll look empty, and it exists. So use color shapes to create dimension. Don't make these points look too harsh. If it's too harsh, use tissue or pencil. Let's blend again, soften this color a bit. Now this area is done. Let's move to the edge. Now work on the relationship inside the button area. Then find the form in this area, a vortex shape. Bring out this vortex shape. Add some short lines to bring out the inner details. When shaping these small details, slow down, don't rush. Don't make it too strong, more gray, like here. Now let's refine the earlobe position. Take your time. All lines going toward light gray areas should be slower. The entire earlobe and outer ear. Emphasize a bit more where it should taper. Bring in the edge line. This cavity can be relatively stronger. Now mark these points, hold these positions, see how this point is marked, and this point, then use some curved lines to add gray here. Blend with your hand the ear's overall form. We can stop here. Make the inner ear a bit grayer, not too strong.